All right, so this is my very nice patient. She was having a particular trouble in the right eye, and she saw my partner, and she essentially had a dislocated lens implant. And so when we do cataract surgery, I like to explain it that the cataract is inside a house, and that house is in your eye, and that's the way it's designed. That's the way God made it. So when we do cataract surgery, we remove the insides of the house, which is the cataract, and then we put a new lens, so a new tenant comes into that house, and that's the lens implant. And most of the time that works great, and people see great, but sometimes the house is unstable. The house that holds the lens is not stable. And so it can actually fall away and cause vision trouble. And so my very nice patient actually experienced this, and that meant the entire structure, the house, the lens, everything was no good anymore. And so we had to do a special procedure where we anchored the arms of a new lens implant through the sclera, and it's a special technique called the Yamani technique. And I happen to be trained and skilled at doing this technique, and so I just wanted her to give an opportunity to share what happened to her, how the surgery was, and how she's doing now.
Well, in mid-October, I noticed a fuzziness on the bottom of my eye, and I came in, they said the lens had dislocated.
Right.
We had the surgery, and when October 28th, I think we did the surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And as of today, I've got better vision than I've had in a long time in that eye.
Wow.
And I'm just thrilled I can finally see again.
And you were really worried because you're a hard worker, you like to work, and this kind of took you away from work.
Yes, it did. I haven't been able to do my job. I am a truck driver.
Mm-hmm.
And if we hadn't been able to restore my vision, I would have lost that because of the restrictions for a commercial driver's license.
And you mentioned to me, actually, when looking at your numbers, you're actually seeing better out of the right eye than the other eye.
Yes, I am now.
And this is the final thing. I think you're in a situation where, the insurance and stuff and all that was kind of getting in the way. But we said to you, what do we say? This was an emergency.
Yes.
We were going to fix you no matter what,
Yes.
regardless of the cost and regardless of the insurance. Remember we talked about that?
Yes.
Thankfully, things worked out.
The Lord worked things out in my favor. It had to have been God that worked it out the way that He did.
Yeah, we're not in the business of letting people go blind. We don't do that.
And that scared me. I was afraid I would lose the vision. If you hadn't been able to capture that, I was afraid that that's where I would lose my vision.
Well, it would have definitely led to a much bigger surgery and more risk for complications. Yeah. But as I told you, regardless of the insurance situation, I told you from the minute I saw you that we were going to take care of you no matter what. And that's the other thing about it. And so I'm real thrilled that everything worked out. Your vision's great. You're doing great. You'll be able to go back to work now.
I'm ready to.
And most importantly, we got you taken care of. And I'm just so thankful that you got to share your story, because I know there are other people around the world who are going through the same thing. And this lens dislocation issue, even though it's not super common, people need to know that it can be fixed, but it does require some special surgical techniques and surgical skills.
It can be fixed, and you can get your vision back, and it be better than it was.
Well, in your case, that happened to be what happened, so I'm really happy for you. Thank you again for sharing your story.
Thank you.